Today we're working from a really fascinating stack of sources, a collection of historical racing notes and some newly translated excerpts detailing the brutal, high-turnover world of 1990s Japanese horse racing.
And our subject is a horse named Biko Pegasus, who was an American-born racehorse from 1991. He became this absolute cult hero in Japan. So this isn't a story of a flawless dynasty. It's a story of pure, stubborn persistence.
Which makes his whole trajectory so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Because if we look at the blueprint of his early life, Biko Pegasus wasn't bred to be a scrappy underdog fighting for his life.
Not at all.
He was bred to be the king of the sport. I mean, his sire was Danzig, one of the most influential stallions in global history.
Right.
Known for passing down just terrifying speed.
Right, legendary speed.
And then his mother, Condessa, won the Yorkshire Oaks in England, which is this grueling marathon of a race.
And biologically, that combination is the holy grail for breeders.
You want both.
Yeah. When you cross elite speed with elite stamina, you are trying to engineer a horse that can run fast and sustain that speed over classic distances. Biko Pegasus was essentially born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
And he immediately proved it on the track, right?
Yeah.
Like, he debuts as a 2-year-old on dirt, and he just wins easily.
Just blows them away.
And then his second race, also on dirt, he completely dismantles a horse named Lively Mount.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who don't follow Japanese racing, Lively Mount wasn't just some random competitor.
No, not at all.
He went on to become a Grade 1 winner on the dirt. So Biko is beating serious talent.
Biko Pegasus showed he had the raw, grinding power to conquer the deep sand right out of the gate.
And then he proves he can glide on the turf, too. As a 3-year-old, he switches to the turf and steps into graded company, which is, the major leagues of the sport.
The highest level.
He runs in the Grade 3 Keisei High, and he doesn't just win. He takes down a filly named Hishi Amazon.
Which is huge. She was putting together one of the most terrifying campaigns in history.
Yeah, she was a monster.
During her entire 3-year-old season, Hishi Amazon only lost to 2 horses. One was Narita Bryan, who won the Triple Crown that year and is widely considered one of the greatest of all time.
And the other one was Biko Pegasus.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because if this horse has the genetic equivalent of a royal flush, and he starts his career with a flawless 3-for-3 record on multiple surfaces, and he's literally beating future legends left and right, why isn't his name etched in gold as the undisputed king of the track?
Right, where does it go wrong?
Yeah, where does the derailment happen?
Well, it happens at the cellular level, unfortunately. Biko Pegasus suffered a bone fracture.
Oh, brutal.
And most importantly, they miss that crucial window of race experience that teaches them how to navigate a massive, chaotic pack of other horses.
So while he is locked in a stall, healing, the rest of his generation is out there getting faster, stronger, and smarter.
Precisely. And by the time he finally returned to the track for the New Zealand Trophy, the landscape had completely shifted. Hishi Amazon, the filly he had previously beaten.
She had evolved.
She had evolved into an absolute superstar. She got her revenge and won. And Biko's path fundamentally fractured right there. He became a survivor rather than the golden boy.
Because he lost too much developmental time to stretch his stamina for those classic distances.
Right. The golden path was just closed to him.
So he survives the injury. But the medical notes show this complete pivot in strategy from his team. They abandon the longer classic races and drop him into the sprint division.
Yep.
But looking at the physical descriptions in these translated notes, wasn't that the absolute worst place for him to go?
It was a profound biomechanical mismatch. Like we were saying earlier, sprint racing heavily favors massive, muscled horses who can generate terrifying amounts of kinetic energy right out of the gates.
You want a tank.
You want a tank. Biko Pegasus weighed about 430 kilograms. That is remarkably light for a sprinting thoroughbred. Biko Pegasus physically could not match that initial burst. He didn't have the mass. Which is why his transition to the Grade 1 level, the absolute highest stakes in the sport, is so agonizing to read about. We see this incredibly painful pattern of almost.
Always the bridesmaid.
Exactly. It starts with his first sprinter stakes. This was the biggest sprint race in Japan, and it served as the retirement race for the undisputed sprint king, Sakura Bakushin-O.
And Sakura Bakushin-O goes out and runs a flawless, mathematically perfect race. He breaks records.
He was untouchable that day.
Right. And doing his absolute best late closing charge at the very back is Biko Pegasus, who weaves through the field and finishes second.
It proved his drafting strategy could technically work against the best in the world. But then biology strikes again.
Oh no, another injury.
Yeah. At age 4, he suffers another fracture. He endures more stall confinement, more muscle atrophy.
But he rehabs again. He actually comes back and wins a Grade 3 race, the Centaur Stakes. The fans are ecstatic. They think the curse is finally broken. He goes into his second Sprinter Stakes feeling like a genuine threat.
But this time, he runs into the giant, Hishi Akabono, the tank. That massive frame allowed Akabono to just dominate the race. Biko Pegasus makes his desperate late charge from the back, but the track just runs out.
He finishes second.
Again. And then the division evolves. A major race called the Takamatsunomiya High gets upgraded to Grade 1 status. This is his chance at redemption.
Yeah, Biko runs the race of his life here. He manages to run down the giant Hishi Akabono. He even beats the legendary Narita Bryan, who was attempting this bizarre late-career pivot to sprinting. He defeats the superstars.
And victories still slipped away.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, because a mare named Flower Park just happened to run a fraction of a second faster. Biko Pegasus finished second yet again. And that is exactly why the Japanese racing fans embraced him so fiercely.
I saw themselves in him.
Exactly. To really understand his popularity, you have to understand a concept in Japanese culture called monomaz. Know where it's an empathy toward things and the gentle sadness of their impermanence.
Wow, that's beautiful.
There is also this deep cultural reverence for the rugged, wandering warrior who fights beautifully, faces impossible odds, and ultimately falls short but maintains his honor. Biko Pegasus essentially became the equine embodiment of the noble failure.
They didn't love him in spite of his lack of a Grade 1 victory. They loved him because of it. He represented the grim reality of daily life. You work hard, you do your best, and sometimes a giant just beats you anyway.
But you have to wake up and run again the next day.
And that survival instinct was tested in the most traumatic way possible during his third appearance in the Sprinter Stakes. This part of the source material is really dark.
It is. During the race, a catastrophic accident occurred directly in front of him involving a horse named Nihon Pillow Study.
The notes detail how Biko Pegasus was directly caught in the visual chaos of the incident. And as a prey animal, a horse's instinct when the herd crashes in front of them is immediate flight or freeze.
It completely destroyed his focus and his momentum. He finished 7th.
Usually when a veteran horse experiences that kind of on-track trauma, especially one who has already endured 2 bone fractures and the heartbreak of multiple second-place finishes, that is the definitive end of a career.
Right. The owners and trainers look at the mounting risk and they just pull the plug.
But they didn't. Biko Pegasus did not stop. At age 6, which is essentially a senior citizen in the sprint division, his team tries a wild pivot. A race called the February Stakes had just been upgraded to a Grade 1, but it was on dirt.
I cannot overstate how insane this move was.
Right.
He had not raced on deep sand since he was a 2-year-old crushing lively mount. He was now a 6-year-old Turk sprinter trying to take on an entirely new generation of horses who had specialized on dirt their entire lives.
He doesn't win, but he finishes a highly respectable 4th behind a dirt specialist named Shinko Windy.
Which proved his underlying athletic mechanism was still elite. He had the power to grind through the sand and compete at the Grade 1 level at an age when every single rival from his generation had long since been retired.
And this brings us to the ultimate mind-bending reality of his career. According to the historical record, Biko Pegasus never won a single race after his 4-year-old season. Not one.
Not a single one.
Yet he continued competing in the most brutal, high-turnover division in the sport until he was 7 years old.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the fans revere this because he transcended the need for a trophy. I mean, think about it. He raced against Sakura Bakushino. He raced against the giant Hishi Akabono. He raced against Flower Park.
All eras came and went.
Exactly. Whole eras of sprinting began, peaked, and ended. New stars were born, celebrated, and retired. And through it all, Biko Pegasus was still there, sitting at the back of the pack, making his late, desperate charge through the wind. Just make room for the new talent.
Right. But Biko Pegasus offers a masterclass in the sheer dignity of just refusing to yield. You don't have to be the biggest in the room, you don't have to win the gold, and you certainly don't have to execute your strategy the way the giants do. You just have to stay in the race.
He was the ultimate hard fighter. He finally retired after his 7-year-old season and became a stallion.
Did he have a successful second career?
Well, he remained active in the breeding sheds until 2006. He didn't produce a genetic dynasty of Grade 1 winners, but that doesn't erase his own accomplishments. He lived a remarkably long life for a racehorse, passing away in 2019 from sepsis at the age of 28.
Wow. 28 years of a life that was constantly defined by adaptation.
He had no grade 1 victories. He didn't leave a huge dynasty. He isn't the undefeated legend. His legacy is purely his stubborn persistence.
He survived a machine custom built to replace him.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more.